A Walk Through Germany, Knowing the Basics by Terry Bergeron, Natasha Evans, Bradley Hines, Emma Saad, and Edward Sheppard.
When traveling abroad or moving to a destination filled with German culture, knowing the basics of the culture will aid a person in their ability to successfully communicate with others. Of the basics, it is important to know about the language, acceptable social habits, and the currency used in the German culture. It is also important to know about parenting differences, attire, cuisine, the arts, transportation, the metric system, and housing. This presentation will address each area in more detail.
The earliest traces of the German language go back to Old High German, and that's going to be in 700 AD till 1050. After that point, they started speaking Middle High German, which that ran from 1050 to 1350. And then after that, it was Early New High German, which went to 1650. And after that, and they still speak it today, it's going to be New High German, which is 1650 to present. Now, quite obviously, the German language is quite different from the English language, such as the TH sound is non-existent, where here in the English language we use the TH sound very frequently. But the alphabet remains the same. There's the same 26 letters as the English language, except they also added some umlauted letters, shown here. German words beginning with the W are actually pronounced with a V. For example, the word we in German is spelled W-I-R, but it is pronounced wir, V-I-R. The differences between the English language and the German language mechanically are much different. Some of these differences include the capitalization of nouns and a much more strict set of punctuation rules. Some words that are similar to the English language in German are winter, which is also said winter in English, Haus, which is house in English, and trinken, which is drink.
Gestures that we use here in America may also be used in different countries. Some of these gestures have totally different meanings in another culture. For example, the thumbs up sign in Germany means one, or can also be a sign of agreement, like here in America. But in Germany, giving the OK hand gesture is considered to be very rude. When Germans wave goodbye, they raise their hand upward with their palm out and wave their fingers up and down. They don't waggle their hand back and forth like some of us may do, because in their culture, that symbolizes the idea of no. In Germany, when you approach a closed door, you always knock first and wait to be told to come in. When you are talking to someone, it is considered very rude to chew gum at the same time, because this reminds Germans of a cow chewing a cud. Also in Germany, when a man and a woman are walking together, the man will always walk on the left side of the woman. This is considered to be romantic because one's heart is on the left side of the body. In Germany, they value order, privacy, and punctuality. When you are introducing yourself, don't use your title. For example, Dr. Smith. They prefer you just use your last name. While shaking hands, it is very important that both of your hands are out of your pocket. German children are often scolded for this. While Germans may appear reserved and unfriendly at first, it is just like any other person we meet. Don't judge before getting to know someone. If you are caught losing your temper in a public setting, it is considered a sign of a weakness. While many restaurants get busy just as they do here in America, they do things very different in Germany. Let's say you're at a busy restaurant and there are empty seats at your table and no other tables available. Instead of waiting for one to open, the host may seat those people at your table. This is actually very common in the German culture. In the corporate world in Germany, they have many business and social meetings. They shake hands with everyone arriving and leaving, but don't leave time for small talk. In the German culture, their business and social meetings are taken very seriously. tardiness is viewed as thoughtless and rude. Germans are considered to be competitive, ambitious, and hard bargainers. Objective criticism in the German culture isn't given or received easily, and compliments are seldom given for work production.
German currency. Before euros, Germany used the Deutschmark. Currently, Germany uses euros. 1 euro equals $1.24 in American money, and 16 states in Europe currently use the euro. These states are Austria, Belgium, Cyprus, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands, Portugal, Slovakia, Slovenia, and Spain. And the euro became the currency in Germany in January of 2002. So, when you look at a euro coin, one side will always have the value of it, and then the other side will have a picture. The picture on the other side will vary from country to country because each country gets to choose what picture they want on the back of their coin. And if you are exchanging your cash for euros, you can do this at an ATM. So you would think it's funny that there are ATMs in Germany, but there is, and they'll take your credit card, like a MasterCard, a Visa. One tip that they have though when you're exchanging cash is that always take more than you need, because a lot of the times your bank is going to charge a pretty high foreign transaction fee. So don't only take what you need for the day, take what you think you'll need for the week or more. In Europe, European ATMs are called a Gautomat, which I thought was really cool.
The German culture values parents and aims to provide a lot of support. One form of support is known as Elternzeit. Elternzeit, which means parenting time, allows parents to take up to 3 years' time off from work to care for a new child. Both parents are entitled to this benefit, and employers must hold the parent's position in lieu of their eventual return. In addition, the employer may not terminate either parent during this time. If an employer agrees, a parent can use 12 of these months any time between the child's 3rd and 8th birthday. Another thing to know about parenting in the German culture is mother's rights. The Maternal Protection Act, known as Mutterschutzgesetz, offers extensive support for mothers. This law was established in 1968 and was created to ensure the mothers were not the targets of workplace discrimination. The act also ensures new mothers time off work, as well as job security when returning from maternity leave. The act goes into effect the moment the expecting mother notifies her employer of her pregnancy and due date. Pregnant women who are applying for jobs do not have to announce their pregnancy before they are hired under this act. Moreover, a pregnant woman cannot be fired from her job from the time of conception until 4 months after she has given birth. However, the expectant mother may resign from her position at any time. Throughout the pregnancy, mothers are protected by the Act, which provides limitations on daily and weekly hours worked, as well as provisions on adequate break rooms for both expecting and nursing mothers. Under the Act, expecting mothers are not required to work during the last 6 weeks of pregnancy, but they can if they choose. If an expecting mother cannot work due to medical reasons, she is protected from financial penalty and job loss and can receive maternity protection pay. This support is paid for by the employer and must equal at least an average of 13 weeks' worth of wages. In addition to the support offered in the form of legal rights, the German culture also offers financial support known as Kindergeld. Kindergeld is an allowance paid to parents by the federal government. This monetary support is meant to ensure the livelihood of the children. The amounts received vary depending on the number of children in the home. Parents and legal guardians can receive Kindergeld payments until the child's 18th birthday, unless the child pursues further education after high school, in which case the Kindergeld may be received until they are 25. Also, children who have unemployed parents may receive payments until they are 21 years old. Although parents and legal guardians primarily receive these payments, in cases of orphans and missing parents, the money may be paid directly to the child. People whom are not native to Germany but who move there, known as expatriates, are also eligible to receive Kindergeld for their children. These people must pay taxes and reside in Germany to receive payments. Additionally, children who receive money from trust funds, child support, or employment are not eligible for Kindergeld if the total income is more than €8,004 per year. Another type of financial support offered by the government is called Elterngeld. This is an income subsidy for new parents. Unlike the 18-plus years covered by Kindergeld payments, Elterngeld payments cover only the first 12 to 14 months of a child's life. These payments total 67% of the applying parent's income, up to a maximum payment of €1,800 per month for one child, and an additional €300 per child paid for each additional birth. To be eligible for these payments, the applying parent must have a residence permit that allows them to work in Germany. They must reside with the child and personally care for that child. They must work more than 30 hours per week while receiving the payments, and only one parent can receive these payments at a time. However, the payments can be split between the mother and the father throughout the eligibility period of 12 to 14 months.
Germany has a very similar fashion to America. It's not all lederhosen and funny hats. They have different dress for different occasions. In a business setting, men usually wear a suit and tie, just like here in America, and women will wear formal skirts or trouser suits. Now in a casual setting, they pretty much wear whatever's most comfortable. But Germany has varying weather conditions, so generally they'll layer up. And for festival and formal settings, Germany does use lederhosen at events such as weddings and folk festivals.
German cuisine. So the core German cuisine is starch. Potatoes, breads, pastas, anything that can revolve around starch. King Frederick the Great is actually the one that introduced the potato to Germany. So, along with being big on starches, they are also huge on meats. Almost every single dish that Germany has includes a meat and a starch. And, well, we also cannot forget the huge thing that Germany has to offer, Oktoberfest. So Oktoberfest is extremely huge. Germany has over 1,200 breweries that make over 5,000 different kinds of beers. Even if you had one beer, a different kind of beer every single day, you'd be there for many years. One interesting thing that I found is that in Germany, it is polite to have both hands above the table. But do not have your elbows resting on the table, as that is seen as impolite. So, to me, it seems like all the good food comes from Germany. Beer, brats, pretzels, and starchy foods.
When a person visits or moves to a country with German heritage, they will soon discover that the arts are a large part of the German culture. Of the arts, literature is possibly the most popular. German literature consists of literary text written in the German language. This includes literature written in Germany, Austria, and the German part of Switzerland. The authors of internations.org state that Germany is often called the home of poets and philosophers. Because of the literary tradition held by the German culture, there is a rather large and diverse number of publishing houses throughout the country, especially in Munich and Berlin. This is made evident by the approximately 94,000 titles published or republished there annually. Berlin is the literary center of the German culture and is considered the international city of publishing. Frankfurt, Germany is home to one of the biggest and most important meetings in the publishing world, called the International Frankfurt Book Fair, which is held every October. A smaller fair, called the Leipzig Book Fair, is held in the spring and has made a name for itself as a reading festival for the public rather than for publishers. Other events, such as the LitCon, the Potenfest in Erlangen, and other literary festivals attract huge crowds every year. Although literature is possibly the most popular art form in the German culture, the performing arts are also popular. Because the arts are very important to the German culture, Most cities provide interesting venues that cater to three areas of performing arts: theater, opera, and ballet. These are classified as repertory theaters, which means they are usually several productions, plays, or performances in a program, which run simultaneously. As a rule, these productions all have a permanent ensemble or cast. In addition, there is a well-established network of state, municipal, traveling, and private theaters. The German culture values its arts. Therefore, a lot of the venues are paid for by the government. Another type of performing art that is very popular in the German culture is music. The German culture is known for its musical reputation. Many famous composers such as Bach, Beethoven, Brahms, Handel, and Strauss come from the German culture. This culture is also well known for its music academies and music festivals. Three of the biggest music-centered festivals celebrated by the German culture are the Oktoberfest, held in Munich, the Wagner Festival, held in Bayreuth, and the Donaueschinger Festival of Contemporary Music, held in southwestern Germany. Because of the strong musical heritage of the German culture, there are 80 publicly financed concert halls in Germany alone. And it's very well known for the Berlin Philharmonic, which is considered to be the best of nearly 130 symphony orchestras in Germany. Right alongside performing arts come media arts. Before the 1990s, the German film industry had fallen flat. In 1998, the German film industry was resuscitated by Tom Tykwer's film called Run Lola Run. A new life was brought about by this comedy about fate, love, and chance. With this jump in creative style came a new enthusiasm about the German film industry, which is now internationally successful. This international success was first seen in 2003 when Carolyn Link won an Oscar for Nowhere in Africa. Subsequently, in 2007, Florian Hinkel von Donnersmarck won an Oscar for his film The Life of Others. In the same year, the Cannes International Film Festival awarded its prize to Fatih Akin for his film The Edge of Heaven. More recently, the film Zwei Leben, or Two Lives, was awarded the grand prize at the BIFF Award for Best Film, and it is the German submission for the Oscars this year. Today, German films are viewed as successful because they employ national themes while telling universal stories. For many years, the German culture has embraced painting as an expressive art form. However, in the 1990s, a new style of realism in paintings brought about international success. This newfound recognition created a German painting revelation that was known as young German artists. The new paintings presented by these new artists were thought to be a reflection of the situation and changing times in Germany at the beginning of the new millennium. As most younger artists considered paintings dealing with the Nazi era to be a thing of the past, they began introducing art that included intersecting experiences and viewpoints. This new style of contemporary art can be viewed at something called the Documenta, which is held every 5 years in Kassel. The Documenta is the leading exhibition of contemporary art worldwide. In addition to the Documenta, paintings can be viewed at hundreds of art museums and galleries throughout the country. Unlike the fine art of painting, photography had to struggle for a long time to be accepted as an art form. In the 1990s, there was a breakthrough in viewing photography as an art form because of 3 young men, Thomas Struth, Andreas Gursky, and Thomas Ruff. These 3 were said to possess such trailblazing international influence that they began being referred to only as Struffsky. This term is now well known throughout the German culture. Photography is now classified as an art form in itself and has had continued international success.
The Autobahn is a much quicker form of transportation than our American highway system. Driving in Germany is very similar to American driving. Both countries drive on the right side of the road. The Autobahn is a very different form of roadway compared to the American highway system. It's similar in that they're both speedy ways to get from one city to the next, but the Autobahn has one very different aspect. There are unrestricted speeds in most areas. One can literally go as fast as they are comfortable with. When in an unrestricted zone, there is no speed limit. only open road. Some rules of the Autobahn include off-floor cars must stay in the right lane. This ensures that people can pass on the left-hand side. You must put your hazard lights on when stopping suddenly, which includes if traffic in front of you is slowing down, so that this will actually warn the people behind you that they need to slow down. Now the recommended speed is 130 kilometers per hour or 81 miles per hour, and non-emergency pulls to the shoulder are illegal.
The metric system. The metric system is based on numbers easily divided and multiplied, such as 1, 10, 100, and 1,000. We will look at distance and length, temperature, weight, and volume. Let's begin with distance and length. In the metric system, distance and length measures kilometer, and for shorter distances, it measures meter, centimeter, and millimeter. For temperature, the metric system is measured in Celsius degrees. 100 degrees is the boiling point, and 0 degrees is freezing. For weight, kilograms is used. Kilograms is measured in multiples. 1,000 grams equals a kilogram. Volume is measured in liters and milliliters. Architecture. For architecture, houses are built using high-quality masonry material. It is very rare to find wood and drywall used. Passive houses are also increasingly becoming popular. Passive houses use an ultra-thick material that keeps the cool air out and the warm air in. Additionally, it allows the house to be heated using the heat from the occupants of the house, as well as the appliances that are being used in the home. Basically, it makes the house like an airtight shell. Residential housing. In Germany, it is common practice for a home to be purchased for life. It is unusual for a home to be purchased with the idea of selling and then upgrading. As a result of this practice, there are few market price fluctuations in real estate. So, what have we learned today? Well, we learned more about their social habits, such as thumbs up means agreement, that they like privacy and punctuality, that they are hard bargainers. We learned more about their core foods, that they are the home of poets and philosophers, that Germany is the home of Beethoven and Oktoberfest. We learned that Germans dress much like Americans, that their currency is the euro. We learn more about the metric system and what it measures, such as that they measure in Celsius degrees and kilometers, meters, liters, and volume, and kilograms. That they build their homes with masonry material, that they purchase their homes for life, and that they drive on the right side of the road, just like here in the United States. And that financial support is paid to parents who meet the necessary requirements.